Have you ever heard strange scratching inside your walls and convinced yourself it was just mice? What if I told you it wasn't? What if every sound you ignored, every missing item, every door you swore you locked, was someone secretly living inside your house? This story will make you question every noise you hear tonight. When Ethan bought the old Victorian house, everyone warned him not to. It's been empty for years, the realtor said. Needs a little work. To Ethan, it looked perfect. Quiet neighborhood, cheap price, a fresh start after his divorce. The first week was peaceful. Almost. Every night around 2:13 a.m., he heard scratching. Soft, slow. Inside the bedroom wall, he laughed it off. Probably rats. He called pest control. They searched the attic. The basement. Every crawl space. Nothing. No animals, they said. A few days later, his toothpaste was missing. Then it mysteriously reappeared, exactly where he'd looked before. His milk disappeared faster than normal. Half a loaf of bread vanished. He blamed himself. Maybe stress. Maybe he was forgetting things. One night, he came home from work and found his TV on. He clearly remembered turning it off. The remote sat neatly on the coffee table, but nobody had a spare key, or so he thought. Things became stranger. Family photos were slightly crooked. Cabinet doors were left open. A chair moved just a few inches every morning. Not enough to notice immediately, just enough to make him doubt himself. Then came the smell. A strange, damp odor, like wet clothes left in a dark room. It seemed strongest near the hallway wall. Again, he ignored it. One rainy evening, the power went out. The entire house became silent, except footsteps above him, slow, careful walking across the ceiling. Ethan grabbed a flashlight. He searched every room. The attic was empty. Or at least, it looked empty. Unable to sleep, he installed security cameras throughout the house. Living room, kitchen, hallway, front door. The next morning, everything looked normal, until he reviewed the footage. At exactly 2:13 a.m., his bedroom door slowly opened. Nobody walked in, but the door opened by itself. Then, very slowly, it closed again. Ethan felt sick. The following night, he stayed awake, holding a baseball bat, watching the hallway, 2:13 a.m. Nothing. 2:14, nothing. 2:15, scratch, scratch, scratch. Inside the wall, right beside him. Then, silence. The next morning, he noticed tiny paint chips on the floor, coming from the hallway wall. Curious, he knocked on it. It sounded hollow, much hollower than the rest. He grabbed a hammer. One swing. The drywall cracked. Behind it was darkness, not insulation, not pipes, a hidden passage, barely wide enough for a person to crawl through. His flashlight revealed blankets, empty food cans, water bottles, and fresh footprints. Someone had been there recently. Terrified, Ethan called the police. They searched the hidden space. It connected to nearly every room in the house. Tiny vents allowed someone to watch him without ever being seen. One officer stopped. There are fingerprints here. Another looked pale. The food is still warm. Whoever lived inside had left just minutes earlier. Police searched the neighborhood for days. Nothing. No suspect. No witnesses. No fingerprints matched anyone in the system. The case went cold. Ethan sold the house within a month. He never told the new owners why. Years later, he finally watched one last piece of security footage that police had missed, the camera in the kitchen. At 3:47 a.m., a hidden panel beneath the staircase slowly opened. A thin figure climbed out, barefoot, dirty, smiling. The stranger quietly made a sandwich, drank milk directly from the carton, then stood completely still, listening. After several seconds, they looked directly into the camera, smiled wider, raised one finger to their lips, shh, then disappeared back inside the walls. The police never identified the person. The hidden tunnels were sealed forever. But the house still stands, occupied, and according to neighbors, every owner eventually complains about the same thing. Scratching, every night, at exactly 2:13 a.m. So, if you ever hear something moving inside your walls, don't assume it's just mice, because sometimes the walls are already occupied. Would you spend one more night in that house for $1 million? Comment yes or no below. Like and subscribe if you love scary stories based on terrifying possibilities.